What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Y'all already know what time it is. So I'm gonna play y'all some tunes. Of course, it's gonna start off with Boss because and then we're gonna listen to a little bit of Jewel Princess Johnson. We're gonna listen to a little bit of Tisha Lassane, and we're gonna listen to a little bit of Tayshawn Blandon. Let's go.
Step up in it cause I got the heels up on my feet. You better watch my rap and down while I'm jugging on the beat. The swag I got what killing me. She got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am. Some respect on that cocaine, while I'm in this thing. Cause I got the heels up on my feet. You better watch my rap and don't know while I'm jugging on the beat. The swag I got what killing me. You got up in these streets and vocals do not mean a thing if you can drop it on the beat. My name don't need no introduction, just know that I am the hero. Some respect on that cocaine, while I'm in this thing. Time is money, so if you don't talk, you better make it quick. I'm coming to you, head in my bottle, I'ma take that shit. I'ma take that shit. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get the money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Never been the type of chick to clear her on my rock. I let them just talk and listen to it, never gave a fuck. I drive my son and then I pick my money up, and that's why what is that it doesn't do, don't switch my money up. I never sold out, I switched up in the real, it's if they want it, but say they made me, okay, then make another one, and I said that shit. I put myself on it, I ain't a bit of baby mama, cause I got money. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Get the money fast and I spend it quick. I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Walk up in the room, do a boss. I get boss checks, I get boss rich. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Y'all do what y'all can, and I do what I want. Hey yo, I never needed your permission to be me, but it's understood I ain't never gotta be explained.
That was Jewel Princess Johnson with Boss.
from this life, away from the hurt beats me and I. It's hard to look my eyes on the moment's pain. Now find a way, find a way, find a way. Oh, chase me, yeah. Trying to chase me.
Yes, that was Tisha Lasay. Y'all, this is Tay Sean Blandon. I need y'all to listen to the words, baby. Listen to the words. This is No More War. And this is definitely going to complement our headliner tonight. It's all about to ignite, just in a matter of time. And it is vivid as day, but you can't see the signs. Oh no, how many hits can we take till we can't take more? How many points you need, prove it till you even score. To the point where fear is knocking the doors, bang, bang, hit the floor. But maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm asleep in my bed, but the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming, Lord. Whoa, maybe I'm asleep in my bed, but the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming, but the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming, Lord. Oh, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Oh, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Oh, do you hear me? I need you. Oh, Lord, we need you. Oh, Lord, we need you. Oh, Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Yeah. Lord, do you hear me? I need you, we need you. Yeah. Lord, do you hear me? Lord, do you hear me calling? Lord, we need you. Cause baby, it's all in my head. Baby, I'm asleep in my bed. Yes, Tay Sean, you give me life with that. Woo! You just give me so much life. I'm screaming no more wall. The old folks say wall. So I'm going to say I'm screaming no more wall, y'all. Wall. Y'all, this is Tisha Lasane featuring T Soul. Y'all remember T Soul?
So baby, let me know. Will you hold me close, or will you let me go?
Yes. The day. Oh, wait. Hey. Oh. Mirror. Yes. Same chair. Close to you. I want you in my life. Baby, it hurts so bad. Things just ain't right. Things just ain't right. So baby, let me know. Will you let me go? Hey! Yes! 60-second countdown beginning now. Hey! Yes! Will you mirror? Okay. Hey. Y'all hear that? Hey. Hey, let's vibe. Yes. Yo, you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't care what music is hot. It does not matter to me. I absolutely love, right? I love me some neo soul, some R&B, some jazz, some classical. You know, I want to twerk, 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 twerk. You know, I want to do that. But look, but let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. Guys, it's a pleasure to have you guys with me tonight. But I am so excited to talk with the gentleman tonight. So this is a special edition of All Things Authentic because it's a blend. Tonight, we're going to blend the family of All Things Authentic, and it's consulting time. So the first guest of the hour is a gentleman who hails from the sunny state of Florida. So we're going to kick off with something called currency and courting. And you'll hear a little bit more about currency and courting when you meet this gentleman. So his name is Josh. And the interesting thing about Josh is that he is an entrepreneur, but he's in a different market, if you will. And the market that Josh is in is the foreign exchange market. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Josh Jean. What's up, Josh? How you doing?
I'm well. I'm relaxed, ready to do this interview and just share everything that's been put on my heart. So I'm ready.
Okay, now I hear you. You are. It sounds like you're a little far away. You might have to adjust your mic a little bit.
I can speak up as well. I'm not scared to speak up.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, look. Welcome to the platform. I'm the girl Lily Mae, guys, and Josh. Look, I believe in just diving right in.
Let's dive right in.
But I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Then we're gonna dive right in and get it lit.
All right. So, for those who not know me, I go by Josh Jean. I'm actually from South Florida, but I was born in New York, raised mostly in South Florida. So Miami is where I call home. And I promise you, I probably can't live any other place because I can't deal with the weather outside of warm. I'm built for hot climates. So, down here, I've been working in the industry that I work in as far as trading currency. I'm a currency trader. I've been doing that for about a year and a half, but I started learning about it maybe about 5-6 years ago. So that's what I do. I'm also an entrepreneur, businessman. Have a lot of ideas on the table, things that I'm building and getting running, but predominantly right now is me and my trading group, the team I work with, and we're just doing damage right now. We're doing damage and helping people, just grow.
Oh, you're doing damage.
Yeah, damage.
Okay. Well, I'm called damage control. What? But look, so all right, guys. So, like I said, this is why we're talking currency and court. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by addressing a couple of things. So, Josh, as an entrepreneur and as a young African American male, and you might have to, I don't know, because I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Yeah, I was hearing a little bit of feedback. I don't know if it's coming from your mobile device or what, but let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's good. All right. So I don't know. I'm still hearing it. Let's see. Yeah, you might have to. Hello. Not hearing it now. I can't hear you either, though.
Oh no.
So you probably muted your mic.
No, I didn't mute my mic, but
now I can hear you. I can hear you,
okay.
And there's no feedback.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go. That's what's up. All right, so Josh, you are a very, very attractive African American male, millennial, and it's 21st century, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that you're on the dating scene, and you kind of trying to feel some things out.
Okay.
Is that safe to say?
That can be safe to say. I'll probably do it a lot different.
Because I don't want to get you in no trouble. I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
No, you don't have to. You're not getting me in no trouble. Yeah, it's safe to say we good. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So, tell me a little bit about some of the issues that men are facing with 21st century dating from your perspective.
Okay. So the one thing I'm going to start off saying, so for those who don't know my dating life, I'll be transparent and open. I'm very transparent. I'm not scared to say where I stand. So I do like women, first of all. Let's be clear about that. And then I do want to say that I currently am not dating. However, I'm not dating anyone in particular. And okay. I would say that, I'm real focused on what it is that I have going on. So unless she matches that, it's kind of difficult for me to even see her, just to say, that, get that out the way. But when it comes to men, I believe in the 21st century, me, I'll be honest as well. I'm very spiritual and in tune with God, and how I believe is different than a lot of regular people, just to say. But I'll just say, as far as men in the 21st century, the difficulties on our end, because it's a two-way street. It could go for women and men, but I'm gonna speak for the men's side.
Okay.
So, ladies, don't bash me in the comments, please. Don't bash me in the comments.
Because I'm the regulator. You won't get bashed. Not on this platform.
Okay, then. So as far as men, I would say for us, a lot of times, let's be honest, women outnumber men. Women outnumber men.
Okay.
And being a young Black man that's focused in life, has goals, has vision, has bigger things that he's working on. You know, a lot of times women may kind of, you know, in my case, I'm not saying that I'm anything, you know, special, but they put themselves out there and sometimes don't allow the man to pursue, I would say.
All right now. Come on.
Women are getting very bold these days. Is there anything wrong with a woman, you know, like making herself available? No, I don't believe that. But I do believe the pursuit should be of the man to choose, because you know that I can go into a whole lot of reasons why, but I'll just put that out there.
Okay.
And as far as another thing that I've been noticing that I think we as men struggle with, I think that a lot of times with men, and I'll attack the men now so that the women don't feel like I'm only talking about them. But for men, I feel like a lot of men need to have a sense of clarity and direction. Yeah. A lot of times men are jumping from women to women, or, you know, they have, you know, a lot of fish in the sea.
I'll drink to that.
Options. So if they don't have a sense of their own identity, if they don't have a sense of knowing where they're going, if they don't have a goal that's bigger than just getting a woman, then at the end of the day, they'll fall into a trap of just being with someone based on physical features, or being with someone based on things that are not real. And then they kind of lose a sense of who it is that they are and what it is that they're called to do on this earth. Because a man has to know, or have at least a sense of his purpose, so that he's not distracted, so that he could lead, his woman in what it is that God has called him to do, along with what she is called to do as well, and partner together in getting that accomplished. But if he has no sense of direction, has no vision, no goals, no dreams, no sense of identity, that's when you start to see things like abuse. That's when you start to see things like manipulation. That's when you start to see things like insecurity, because he don't even know who he is. He don't have some identity. And women have to recognize that too. If he's still maturing in himself, if he's getting established in himself, you know, you got to let that man grow. And don't get mad if y'all break up because he found out that he really don't know himself and he really don't love you like he thought he did.
Oh,
you better let him go. It's gonna be toxic.
So Josh, it sounds like what you're saying is that number one, in order to truly lead, you know, you got to know where you're going. Yeah. And if you want a woman to submit, you got to be able to lead and know where the hell you're going. It sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, okay. So with that being stated, then tell me what your non-negotiables would be in this 21st century, because I think a lot of, well, from your perspective, because I think we're on the same wavelength with this whole dating thing and the way that we want to seemingly, you know, target our situations. But my question to you is, what are your non-negotiables and how did you kind of come up with those?
So my non-negotiables, I'm very spiritual, and like I said earlier, and you know, when it comes to, first of all, let me say this: men have to have non-negotiables. Women have to have non-negotiables.
Absolutely,
it's okay to have that. Does that mean you don't adjust with someone who God may place in your life that may not meet all your non-negotiables? No, because they're like I said, people may be in process as well. And sometimes you got to know that, okay, this person may not have this specific quality I was looking for, but if God puts it in your heart that, you know, they're in process, then you know, all right, they may not be there yet, but God has shown me who this person is. So one of my non-negotiables for me personally, I would say is, first of all, she got to have a spiritual foundation. She got to have a relationship with God. To be honest, if not, she just gonna think I'm crazy. And I'll be honest, I didn't grow up in church, so I'm not saying this because I grew up in church and I read the Bible all the time. And, this came from a true interaction with God, and me coming into a relationship with Him completely changed my perspective on everything. Because who I used to be, I don't want to talk about those non-negotiables because I don't even think that I had any. But
so you lead me to my next question for you.
But let me just say right now, for my number one non-negotiable, she gotta have a foundation in God, because she's gonna think I'm crazy. She gonna, I can't get into a conversation. Say we have a healthy debate. Let's call it a healthy debate. Let's say we have a healthy debate. Absolutely. And I say, hey, look, God just spoke to me and said that, this is what we need to do. And she says, don't bring God into this. Oh. All right, what I mean? That's not gonna work out, because my belief system is pretty strong. But not to say that I'm not human as well. I understand we got our human aspects, but that's one non-negotiable that probably wouldn't work for me if she didn't have that foundation.
Okay. So that's interesting. But I want to kind of take a turn. So you said that you weren't raised in church, but you seemingly, well, you didn't find God, because God ain't never been lost. He found you. Yeah. And you accepted Him into your heart. So let's get that straight, because I'm tired of y'all talking about y'all done found the Lord. The Lord ain't never been lost. I ain't never seen so many people go to prison, go to jail, and they come out talking they found the Lord. No, the Lord found you. But anyway. Right. But so what is that like, though? What is that like with dating? Because I'm pretty sure, I know I can just be transparent and say that's one of the first things I'll tell a dude quick. So I'm working on enhancing my relationship with Christ, because y'all already know I can turn up if I need to. Don't get it twisted. But I do love the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, because that's what I was grounded and rooted in. But it's hard out here dating, because you're in a battle with your spirit and your flesh. And sometimes that flesh be winning, because what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I just be like, what, flesh? I'm gonna let you play today. But seriously, like, how has dating for you changed historically versus currently after your, enlightenment, your period of enlightenment?
Yeah, so obviously, when you come into a spiritual space, it kind of changes your complete perspective of everything. So when it comes to dating, that was one of the biggest things, because obviously, a lot of times we base our dating habits and regulations around popular culture. But when you come into a place where God finds you, like you said, you begin to understand that He has a completely different blueprint than what we have come to make normal. So when I realized that His blueprint was different, I had to change up, because I'm going to be honest, it wasn't easy at first. You know what I mean? Because when I first came into this, like you said, He found me, and it kind of was like I was just still the person who I was. So, I made my fair share of, having old habits that I had to get out of myself, changing the way I think about women, changing the way I think about relationships. And it took a lot of dying to myself, really, because I had to realize that it wasn't all about me, and that, just maturing as a man and realizing that relationships is mutually beneficial. And you have to understand that it's not always your purpose, your what it is that you're called to do, and she has to, follow that. But she's a human too. And a lot of times, I'll say this thing, going back to your first question, men sometimes look at women as objects, and we got to be careful with that, because they would look at a woman as, I was talking to a friend the other day, and he said, oh, that one over there, she's fine, that one. I'm like, that one? That's a her, first of all. And you gotta
correct your friend.
You got to, because we have a mindset that is kind of based on popular culture, and a lot of times what you hear in music and TV, it kind of puts women in a subjective nature. But at the end of the day, they're human, and you got to realize that, all right, when you're thinking about being with someone, you got to think about someone outside of yourself. You got to understand that you have to to understand. You know, one thing that I always pray God to reveal to me is whoever it is that He's called me to be with, that He shows me her purpose, her calling, what it is that she's called to do, so I can see how I can help her accomplish that. Because before, it really was a lot about me and not about her. That's one of the biggest things I had to realize when I came in.
I need to put a pin in that. We're gonna pin that it wasn't all about you, and that you need to support her like she supports you. Cause see, we got too many Bob the Builder situations going on out here, and I'm guilty of it. I love a project. I love a project, and half the time the project's not even my own. Because I feel like I gotta save the doggone world. And it sounds like that's a part of what you're saying. Like, I'm going to support you, but I'm not going to supplement anything for you. I'm going to compliment you. And once again, that's compliment with an E and not an I, because I'm so tired of people misspelling stuff and missing. Compliment with the E. That's where you are enhancing something. And that's the other thing, which leads me, Josh, to something else I was going to talk to you about, because we always hear people say, oh, he completes me, or oh, she completes me. I don't want you to complete me. I want you to enhance me. I want you to make me a better me, because I'm already complete. I need to come to you complete. And if I'm not coming to you complete, I need to at least come to you on the way, right? So my question to you is, what are the things that you feel like you may need to be enhanced from a partner? What do you think are the most important things?
I want to piggyback on the first part that you said, as far as that we're called to not to complete, but to enhance. And I think when you think about the original blueprint, like I was saying, like, let's go back to the Bible. And I'm not trying to get all super religious, but let's keep it real. Adam.
Oh, it's fine. We can do that here. We can do that here because I'm there. We can do that.
Okay. All right, let's go then. So God took the rib out of Adam. If he was already complete, why would he take something out of him to create the woman?
Okay.
So that already goes to show what you're saying, that, you know, a partner doesn't come to necessarily complete you, because you're complete in God. Adam was already created, completed, but he had to take something out of him to create something to enhance him, or someone to enhance him. And that was a woman, why she was called a helpmeet. And so, you know, going back to the question, so as far as men, I think the one thing that will help enhance, I think it goes both ways. So the one thing that will enhance relationships and couples when they come together is, number one, having a strong, I think belief system is pretty, has to be foundation, number one. Absolutely. And I say that because you can have people who have different opinions. That's okay. If someone has different opinions, another person has different opinions, cool. But the one thing that I will say is, you can have different opinions, but if your belief system is different, it becomes difficult
to hang it up.
Because the belief system is something that you base your life on. Opinions is something that you just have an opinion about something, but that can change. Opinions can change. But the belief system, those coming together, is gonna already enhance the each other, because they'll truly support each other outside of just themselves. They'll really become like uplift each other. So one lifts up the other as the other lifts the other, and they just keep climbing the mountain. So the second thing that I think needs to be there is, you know, I talk to a lot of seasoned married couples, people who, because I like to get advice from people.
I ain't know where you was going with that for a minute, but okay.
Yeah, no. I like to get advice and wisdom from people who actually do it, who actually work it. And I think that's one thing that young couples especially should do. Go to people who've been married for years and who have that advice that you can listen to. Humble yourself and listen to someone outside of yourself who knows what it takes to get to a 50, 45-year marriage. You know what I mean? So I think that when couples come together and they understand who they are individually, then they automatically will enhance each other, because they know who they are. So they know what they bring to the table, and it's not coming to the table to see what's already there. You know what you bring to the table. He knows what he brings to the table. And then next thing you know, you guys have a feast.
Oh, you better speak. Okay, all right. So, Josh,
Mm-hmm.
with everything that you have going on, right? What does happiness look like to you? Because you have a very stressful job situation. You're an entrepreneur and you're into foreign exchange currency. And how does that kind of factor in? Like when you're meeting people and you're talking about this, do you sometimes have issues because people feel like you're trying to pressure them into something other than getting to know them?
That's a good question. So that kind of is like a multiple part question. So I'll
It
answer it.
is.
Yeah.
Break it down. Break it down. I do that. I like to load you up.
So as far as being an entrepreneur, it is difficult because you know you don't have a steady 9 to 5 where there's a check coming in all the time, and you're building a system and you have to build based on you knowing what it is out of what you see before you actually see it. So that means a lot of times people who are outside of you may not see it yet unless they catch the vision and are meant to work with you to make it happen.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, and then also, well, there's two parts to the question that you asked. So when it comes to dealing with, people of the opposite sex, because with my business, obviously, any business thrives off of having clients. So, you have to reach out to people, brand yourself, put yourself out there. And, being a man approaching women, you definitely want to make sure you have the lines clear in the beginning. And that's one thing that I noticed with a lot of people who do business. You got to make sure that those lines are clear. You can't mix lines and expect, the business to do well if you're not stating your intentions up front. Now, a lot of times, when I do that, it may upset people who may have had other intentions. And, you got to like, back up. But at the end of the day, you really have to understand what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, and not get distracted. Because for me personally, I can't afford to get distracted. You know what I mean? I can't afford to for someone who may perceive what I'm doing or what I'm approaching them with as something other than what I'm telling them. I can't afford your opinion. I'm sorry that you thought that. That's not what I was about. I was really trying to help benefit your pockets. If you don't want that, then I really can't help you. But at the end of the day, it's not any hard feelings, but you gotta be real clear about what it is that you're trying to do. And when you have a clear vision, like vision gives you discipline. And people begin to respect that. Then when they see that you have that discipline about what it is that you do when you enjoy it, like trading it can be stressful, but it's fun as well. But when you know exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, people will not come at you sideways and begin to try to make pleasure with business. They know to show respect because they respect you. Now, that don't mean you're not gonna get the flies in the nets, but you don't have to feed into it. You know what I mean? You gotta stay focused on your why and what it is that you're doing.
Stay focused on your why. Look at you dropping jewels. You better drop jewels. So, all right. Now, this is just me being me. It's a random question. And so, what I want to know is if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
So I would say 3 wishes. That's a unique question. So I would say number 1, I would pray for a divine connection with everyone that I meet, because I feel like there's purpose in relationships. Like I know that I'm put on this earth for something much bigger than me. So
that's it.
When I allow myself to be used to affect other people, I get satisfaction from that. Like I get a joy from helping somebody. Like I really do. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. No money, no, false pleasure beats that feeling when you know that you help somebody. When someone can come up to you and be like, man, because of you, my whole life has changed, that does something to you. So I want that to be for everyone I come across. That's one of my biggest things. Definitely want to be I really don't have, I feel like I'm very content. I'm very content. And that took a long time to get here because I say that to say, because a lot of times when I'm praying or asking for things, I really don't ask a lot for things that I want. a lot of times I'm asking to be effective and I'm praying for other people. So if I would say the biggest wish would be obviously for, my mom and my family to be completely at peace and be able to do everything that they've been called to do. And then the last but not least is that, I want to change history.
All right.
I want to change
All
history. And
right.
there's a lot that goes into that. And I have it all in my heart. So I know what I'm talking about, but that's one of them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, okay. All right. So now we're going to kind of shift gears and I'm going to throw something at you. Okay. And I'm throwing this at you because what we're going to do is at 7:15, we're going to have another guest come on. And I'll take you backstage for a little bit and then I'll bring you back out toward the end. But we're having a lot of issues in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a lot of issues amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a lot of issues with our counterparts, particularly in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit in a unique place because you're an African-American man,
Mm-hmm.
but you are an educated, middle-class African-American man.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel knowing that people might not know you and you could potentially get stopped and lose your life, unbeknownst to anybody but you and the person that takes your life? Like, do you have that fear? So this is going to be a loaded question. Do you have that fear? Because guys, if you don't know, he's in South Florida. He hails, he's in that area. But do you have that fear? And what are your thoughts on what's going on in these United States of America with our Black men?
All right. So I'm going to answer this question. I'm glad you asked that because she was asking. I'm also on Instagram Live, by the way. So, shout out to Instagram Live and those who came out. But
hey, IG.
So as far as being able to look at everything that we have going on as a Black man, as a young educated Black man, I kind of look at things from a very different perspective. I'm gonna say that now, but I will say I fight for justice and truth. I can't sit back and allow injustice to not be addressed. So I do say that a lot of the stuff that we see going on, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the senseless killings and the ignorance that's being revealed a lot. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. The one thing that I do, as far as my stance is, as a man and as a young Black man, I don't put myself in a category as a victim, and I don't think any Black man should. I don't think any Black person should, because a lot of times we can kind of get that victimized mindset where we feel like, this is happening to us. But me, I see it as, okay, this is happening, and what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? I don't, and I'm gonna talk more on a personal level than a global level. So on a personal level, I think that we have to carry ourselves not with a chip on our shoulders, not with angry, because think about it. When you think about like a bully, for example, a bully or someone who has a chip on the shoulder, a lot of times it's because they have insecurities or maybe things have been happening back home. So they have to put on this front to act a certain way. Me, nobody's going to tell me what I'm going to do and how I'm going to act. Based on what y'all are doing, I'm not going to lower my character. I'm not going to lower the way I act. I'm not going to be angry, because no man can make me angry. I'm angry at unrighteousness and injustice. So I'll speak up the truth, but I'm not going to carry myself less than who I am because of what's going on. And I think that, a lot of Black people, let's just be honest, kind of could get that anger and they act irrational. And I think that we should use that anger to fuel movements like we've been seeing, to fuel like positivity, instead of going on and tearing each other down. Because you mentioned that earlier, like we have a lot of issues within ourselves. Like and it comes from a slave mindset to sit there and tear down each other. And
I was ready to speak on that.
That's something that I, ever since I've been young, growing up in a predominantly black community,
Wow.
a lot of times we have what we used to call down here in Miami rank sessions, where we sit there and we make fun of each other for fun. And I never would fall into that. And they would make fun of me, they would talk about me, but I never cared because I never felt like I'm gonna lower myself to sit there and make fun of you when that's not right.
Okay.
And that comes from that slave mindset. But the same thing applies to this day. It's a little bit different situation, but the mindset can't be that we're gonna, tear each other down and not understand what we have within ourselves, so that we carry ourselves less than who we are. We got to really truly know who we are. And when you understand your identity, even going back to the relationship thing, when you know who you are as a man, when you know who you are as a person, no one outside of you can make you act any different than who you are. Like you can't, like they can't move you. So you do what's right. You walk with your head held high. You make sure that you, like when an officer comes and stops you, you don't automatically put him in a category and then tear him down. Whatever he is or whatever he has going on makes no difference to me, because I walk as a king. So I'm gonna speak proper. I'm gonna act proper.
Yes,
now, if he acts disrespectful or says something, you speak up for yourself.
absolutely.
You're always speaking up for yourself.
But we got to plug that because we do know that Black men are aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Black men are scary, and Black men are just ignorant. That's what's perpetuated by our media. Mm-hmm. And the sad thing is that's what's perpetuated by Black media.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being stated, and that's why I think that hearing your perspective and then bringing on our headliner for the evening and talking with him about some of the same things, it's going to be very, very interesting, because I think that we're living in a time where we know what the problem is, but we keep talking about the problem. But we're not talking about real solutions. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. We keep talking about the problem. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? And I love my grandmother has been dead now for like 10 years. But I can remember her telling one of her older sisters, Lizzie, would you stop talking about your aches and pains if you ain't gonna get up and do nothing about it?
That's it.
You keep talking about your aches and pains, but what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, for me, I grew up with parents that legit got washed down the street by fire hoses. So for some of my peers to talk about we were slaves, I can't feel you saying that the way I feel it when somebody else might say it, because I know that I got secondary knowledge, not tertiary knowledge. I got secondary knowledge from primary sources who lived in it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like my mother literally ran because the police brutality was so crazy in Danville, Virginia back in '63. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like I tell people, Martin Luther King legit stood on the steps of my home church and spoke. Wow. Our church was like a headquarters. And so for me, it's a lot different. For me, it's like, okay, I get what's going on, but the reality is we have to equip and educate ourselves with the full armor. And the full armor are joy, jewels, and justice, because you can't go into no situation with the enemy angry. You got to be internally angry, but you can't let the enemy know that you're angry. Because if they know you're angry, what? They already won, because they're going to defeat you because you're full of emotion.
That's it right there. That's it right there. Because the one thing I'll say is, if you let somebody bring you out of character, like you said, they've already won. Like if you let somebody take you out of who you are, they already won. If you're the reactor and you're not the one who states the standard, then they already won.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. So I guess we're going to shift gears a little bit. And I want you to talk a little bit about foreign exchange, currency, and tell me a little bit about how that is for you. But tell us what it is for those that don't know anything about, foreign exchange currency. Talk a little bit about that.
All right, so foreign exchange currency. So me personally, I was introduced, and I'll tell you how I got introduced to foreign exchange, and then I'll tell you guys what it is. But I was introduced to foreign exchange through a friend of mine who actually was playing in the NFL, ended up getting injured, left, and he ended up losing. He started developing a gambling addiction, started losing a lot of money gambling until he fell into trading. When he fell into trading, he began to tell me, "Hey, Josh, you should put money in this, you should put money in that." And I know him to be a gambler, so I'm not putting money in anything you're talking about.
I know that.
Eventually, I started noticing that he was making a lot of money. So I said, "Look, I don't know what you're doing, but you have to teach me," because I was determined to learn. Because I sat there and watched someone who I personally knew literally become a self-made millionaire. He made millions of dollars within a span of 2 years from trading. And I said, this is something that I have to learn. So long story short, 4 years later, I get plugged into a way that I could learn effectively, because he made millions and left. So I had to learn this on my own. But I found a group and a team where we work together, we study together, we trade together. So foreign exchange is buying and selling currency. That's it. Like if you've ever traveled outside of the country, you typically, if you're going to a country that doesn't use US currency, you have to exchange your US currency for whatever currency that country uses. Now, the exchange rate changes. So say, for example, you went to Japan, you have to use the Japanese yen, right? But say, for example, while you're in Japan, say you take $1,000 out there, you change it, say $1,000 gives you 1,000 yen. Now you got to come back to the United States. Say you don't spend no money.
Okay.
Trump does something crazy. The US dollar goes down. So now the dollar gets weaker. When you come with them same 1,000 yen that you have to change, you're going to get back more money. People may be like, hold on, how does that make sense? But think about it. You have the US dollar and the Japanese yen. The US dollar went down. The Japanese yen never did. So now that you come back to the United States, that Japanese yen can get more US dollars because it's weaker.
Okay. Okay.
So imagine if you're traveling to different countries, just getting the currency when it's low and changing it to another currency when it's high. But you don't have to do that anymore. You do it all on a computer. So I literally sit in front of a computer and you can see when currencies are changing all day, 24/7. And you have to make as much money as you want, really, is because it's all based on the work that you put in. But that's what I do. And it's very rewarding, because especially as a Black man, going back to our conversation, this is not stuff that we're taught in school. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to investing, understanding business, understanding the finance game, this is taught at the tables of the rich and wealthy. This is stuff that's taught at the circles of those who have access to information that we're never taught in school, information that we're never given just outright up front, unless you happen to connect with somebody who knows. So when I tell somebody, I've watched somebody make thousands of dollars in a couple of hours, and they're like, oh, that's not real, that's fake, that's a scam. That's because we're limited by our paradigm.
Okay.
We're raised to have these paradigms where we're not taught investing. We're not taught how to create or earn money. We're not taught how to, plug our money into investments and assets so that our money is always moving. We're taught what? To save, put your money in the bank. Rich people don't leave their money in no bank.
No, this new generation is taught to buy cars that they can't afford. Because you know what's interesting? Let me tell you, it's funny that you said we weren't taught in the tables. I think a lot of our issues can be, and I'm not going to say all of them, but I think if we went back, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm not throwing shots, but we just need nuclear families again. Because nuclear families had dinner time. And let me tell you something. At our dinner table, I had a seat. My brother had a seat. My mother and my daddy had a seat. And we had conversations. And one of the real distinct conversations I remember my parents having with my brother and I was about salaries and money, right? And if you make $75,000, and people, I need y'all to listen to this. If you make $75,000 and you go and buy a car that costs $30,000, you're only making $45,000 a year. Now you go and buy a house that costs $100,000. You already negative $55,000 in debt. Do y'all understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If we start thinking like that, we would stop making these foolish decisions. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, I definitely do, because that's one thing.
Oh, my dream car was a BMW 745, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I said, hold up. I done grew up around all these mechanics and stuff. We got this whole 1986 shiny black Cadillac Fleetwood Brom sitting out here that my daddy won't let nobody drive unless it's Sunday. And I know how much the maintenance cost on that car back in the early 90s. So consequently, when I get old enough to be able to go buy a car and afford a car, what did I buy? A Toyota, a Jeep.
Yeah.
Can I afford a Tesla? Yeah, I can afford a Tesla if I want one. But why am I gonna pay more for my car note than I pay for where I lay my head?
Yeah.
Until we start thinking like this. And the other thing is, and I'm not gonna take it there, but the system. Lyndon Baines Johnson did a great disservice to our community with the welfare system.
Mm.
See, the thing is, the welfare system was not set up for us. The welfare system was set up for those World War II vets,
Mm-hmm.
and their wives and the nurses and stuff that were over there.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all want to talk about, what's going on all the latest shows and all that Ozark and Netflix. Y'all don't want to talk about what the real issue is and how we can combat it. But look, as we wind down, Josh, first and foremost, before we go anywhere, thank you so much. And you're going to stay backstage because I'm going to bring you back in a little while. But tell the people where they can find you on social media and how they can find out about foreign exchange currency.
All right. So if anybody wants to, find me, you can find me on Facebook, Josh Jean. So simply Josh Jean, spelled like Levi jeans, but with no S. And then on Instagram, Josh_Jean_MOG, man of God. Josh_Jean_MOG, man of God. So if you want to find out about trading, investing currency, like I said, we have a team. We work together, we trade together, we learn together, and we make money together. So at the end of the day, you can always reach out to me about that, and I'll let you know how we do it. I'll let you know how you can get.
Reach out to him about business, ladies. If y'all go at him, reach out to him about business.
Yeah, I'm a businessman first, so yeah.
Okay, Josh. Well, look, you stay backstage, and I'm gonna bring you back in a little bit.
All right, sounds good.
Bye. So, guys, you heard from Josh Jean. And I love his energy. So as we prepare to bring our headliner in, I want you to really listen to the words of No More War. Listen to the words as we prepare for our next guest to arrive.
There's something that's just not coming back. It's putting out on the tape, get to the bottom line. It's all about to be just in a matter of time. And it is vivid as day, but you can't see the signs on the road. How many hits can we take till we can't take more? How many points you need, moving till you even score? To the point where fear is knocking the doors, bang, bang, hit the floor. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I'm asleep in my head. But the reality is, in the midst of the battle, I'm screaming no more.
And Tayshawn said he's screaming no more war. No more war. No more war. Guys, I think we need to listen to the words of the song and really, truly think about what he's saying. Really think about what he's saying, because what he's saying is he's tired of the fight. He's tired of the fight, but he's not going to give up. Okay? But look, the man of the hour is a very, very powerful gentleman. Through a divine connection, I'm gonna call it a divine connection because I'm still trying to figure out. I know how we were connected. Shout out to Lyrical. But this gentleman is an executive producer and screenplay writer. However, he's so much more than that. He is a powerhouse. He is a man of many talents. He is a community activist. He is a community organizer. He is the man in front of the screen, behind the screen, beside the screen, editing. You know what? Forget it. Without further ado, meet Mr. Jabari, hashtag The Lilo Show, filmmaker Crowder. How are you?
Hey, Lily. How you
doing?
Hey, man, trying to, get off this quarantine, situation. So, it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, look, you know what? I want you to introduce yourself to the world in your multiple capacities. And then we're going to jump in. And I think with you, let's talk about the industry that you're a part of. And then we're going to close out talking about the state of affairs in Georgia.
Okay.
So who is Mr. Crowder?
Well, I'm a filmmaker. Like you said, executive producer. I try to find good films and bring them to life here in Georgia, mostly because Atlanta's the new Hollywood. Everybody's from LA is moving here and everything. So, so I kind of put a whole project together from script all the way to distribution and whatnot. So yeah, I produce, I direct, I write. I write a lot of screenplays. That's where I make a lot of my money. Is screenplays, edit. There's so many things. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, so I do it all when it comes to film. So.
Absolutely. And guys, one of the things that I need you to understand is that he said a couple of things. He's a filmmaker, but he makes the majority of his money with screenwriting, right? Mm-hmm. And bringing these plays, these visions to life, right? Mm-hmm. So is it safe to say that you make your money relative to your time? Because that's time consuming.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so if I come to you and I say, Jabari, this thing is bothering me and I wanna blast it. I want to do this show on obesity and I want you to help me bring it to life. What does that process look like for you, though? What else do you need to make it happen?
Well, if you came to me and said you had an idea or something, mm-hmm. Well, first I would ask, do you have the script?
Okay.
And if you have that, then I ask, do you have a budget? Now, if you have a budget or not, then that determines what happens next.
Now you said budget.
Right.
Now let's talk budget. Filmmaking budget. What does budget mean? Because know where I'm going.
Everything that pretty much that's essential has a budget. Like a gas station has a budget. Like we got to spend this amount of money to get this or make this happen or whatever. Ice cream truck, they all have budgets.
Absolutely.
The same thing with the film world. Then you have to have a budget. If you want to do something successful. Yeah, anybody with a camera can go turn it on and press record and find a computer, or they doing it with their phone now, editing. But it's a lot more to filmmaking than just that. And if you want to be successful, you have to have a budget.
Okay, okay. And so I guess one of the things is that you are in an area that's infiltrated with some heavy hitters, right?
Mhm.
So with that being stated, how do you remain relevant? I mean, like what types of things do you feel you have to do to kind of keep going? Because I mean, I don't even want to ask you what's hard or getting started or being able to keep going, because obviously you're there and you're doing it. But what do you have to do to keep going? Because you're in Atlanta and you know you got Tyler Perry Studios, you got so much going on out there. What do you do, you know, to keep going?
Well, for one, I'm kind of naive to what everybody else sees in me. So I don't, what you see, I don't see. I feel like I ain't nowhere near there. So
Okay.
my plans for where I want to be, you know what I mean? So I'm not there. So I'm trying to get there, you know. So
Well, I think you there. You know, I already like, and guys, you know, let me say this. This gentleman is knowledgeable, number one. He knows his craft and he knows the business. So when he say he naive, I'm gonna let him talk. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, this man is an industry mogul. Because
yeah,
the other thing is, I make sure to do my research, and I know that you also manage and do artist development.
mhm,
So you
mhm.
know all of that. And
Yeah.
so with that being stated,
I started out as an artist, so that
I put you
transition.
up here though. And the reason, let me tell you why I put you up here. I put you up here because collectively, your net worth far exceeds some of the people that are around you.
Oh, I know, I know.
And I love, and one thing I will say, I love your humility. I love your humility. And I definitely want to talk about some of the projects that you're working on.
Mhm.
But I love your humility. But I think that you owe it to yourself to look. Now I'm gonna be humble, but at the same time, I'm the man. Because I told everybody, you know what, Jabari, call Jabari, but don't call him if you ain't got no budget. Because if you ain't got the
Oh, man,
$4,000,
I was telling that myself. You know, they ain't got nothing to do with it, man. You just ain't gonna waste my time. Like I got things to do. So you know,
I know that's right.
yeah, no, it's love though. It's all love. Like you know,
Absolutely.
I try to try to make everything happen for the people that need it. You know, so
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know you have two self-financed full feature indie films, Faking and The Story Before the Glory.
correct.
So tell me a little bit about what that looks like, that it was self-financed. Because when you say self-financed and then film, Jabari, that's tough.
Right, right.
And doing everything yourself, like,
Well, I wouldn't say everything myself, but I would say if I didn't do what I did, it wouldn't get done.
mm, 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 mm. Plug that. I like that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just the truth. If I didn't do my job, it wouldn't have got done because I'm an executive producer. So it's my job to make sure everything get done,
Absolutely.
even if I can't do it myself. So yeah.
So with those films, now, not even the films, let's go back. Executive producer, define what that means to you.
Um, executive producer is basically when you're talking film or movie.
Film, okay.
That person is the person that basically brings the vision together, brings everybody together. It usually starts with a producer. He'll find a good producer that he likes that or she likes that loves film and has experience, and they will bring her in or him in, and she would kind of take over, but she would also answer to him, the executive producer. So the executive producer is usually in the dark. He's like silent most of the time. Like you don't see him. You know what I mean? I just like try to be hands-on with the stuff I do. But executive producers, like they're never on set. They just the guys that bring in the money. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So or they're the guys that control the actual project. They may not be the guys that bring in the actual money, but they still in control of the project. Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. So I know you have something else called Waiting to Inhale.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little about Waiting to Inhale?
Oh, Waiting to Inhale right now is starring Shawty, Young Jock. I can't. Well, it's other people.
Let me see if I can do it.
It's a lot of people that's going to be in, a lot of comedians that's going to be in it. Oh, Funny Mike, we finally got him signed on.
Okay.
It's a couple of Hispanic comedians in it, Latino women, Latino. Yeah, I'm going across the board on this one. So, like, I got Latinos, I got white people, I got black people, of course, and Asians in this movie.
That's it. All right.
Yeah,
I know that's right. See, I'm telling you, I don't care what you say. Remember, I said you to me.
Mm.
Now,
it's not. I mean, they say it too. Like, it's not the first time I heard it, but I be like, but nigga, you wasn't driving in the 550. Yeah, I ain't got no 550. You know. So,
but you know what?
I'm
you can do what you do, but you can do what you do because you're working your way there.
Oh yeah.
You know not to just jump out. See, that's the thing. Just like we date potential, we buy based on what we could potentially have. But you're doing it the smart way. So I'm with you. I
could have been had one. I could have been had one, but trust me, it would have got repoed too. So
I know that's right. So Jabari, can you tell us a little bit about some of the other projects and things that you have your hands in? Like, what are some of the? Because I know that you produce some major things out here in these streets. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you've been blessed to produce?
Well, I got my 2 movies, The Story Before the Glory, which is out now on Amazon.com. Matter of fact, it's posted right there.
I need one of those mailed out momentarily. Okay.
Yeah, The Story Before the Glory. That's on Tubi TV and Amazon. Okay. Just released that in July.
Absolutely.
And this is my first film, Faking. That was released last year. So those were the 2 hottest things I got. I got a few short films that I did with Lynn Tate, Baby D. I don't know if you guys remember Baby D.
Absolutely.
West Side Baby D. Yeah, that's my best friend. So like we always, and a lot of the people that you see me around, like a lot of them are a result of him, because he's a legend in the city. He's my best friend, so we will always be together. And
absolutely.
And you know how it go. Yeah, this is my boy Lalo, man. He make movies and shit. You know how that shit goes. So
that's it. You know something, but that's major. And guys, if you're listening, I want you to hear something. You notice he said such and such is his best friend. And that holds weight. Because when that other person references you as their best friend, and they're already holding weight and credibility in the community, see, we got it twisted. We feel like we gotta rub hands with this person when really relationships are built just like this. You get what I'm saying? People like direct, straightforward, but they also want to know that they're going to get a return on investment. And that does not always mean monetary. Right. And that's what I think we have to understand.
Right.
You know, back in the day, what were we built on? Bartering. We bartered to get things done. Yeah. And so I think that those are the things that we really have to listen to and watch and learn. And so, Jabari, one of the things that I love about you also, and I think that this is something that people need to understand, is that your network is very diverse. You know, I kind of watch and I see, different people, and I was like, the world, like, okay. You know, I look at people, blue check verified, they shouting you out, and I'm like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I'm about to, yeah. I'm gonna be like him one day. I'm talking about Spice. And you know, I'm like, baby, Lilo is that man. I mean,
Spice the homie, man. Spice the homie, man. I love. Shout out to Spice, man. You know, I don't know if you remember Patras from Jamaica.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
I can't do what I want to do because I remember that. I remember being in the living room, got me 2 times sexy like that.
Spice is over there now. Spice is Patra over there. So
and that was something that when that connection was made, I said, okay, you know what? I love the authenticity though. And see, guys, this is something else. Those that are listening, listen to what I'm saying. Mainstream artists, actors, actresses, producers, labels, they're human beings. And if you act like a fan, you're gonna get treated like a fan. You can be a fan, but also be human. These people get tired of people, oh my God, let me take a picture. Chill, it's okay. Because I guarantee you will get more information and more of a connection if you approach individuals on, hello, I am such and such. This is what I'm trying to do. That's how I met Mr. Crowder.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so y'all about to see him on everything. He don't want to go to LA, but I'm gonna take him to Hollywood. He don't know. He gonna be on that red carpet. I'm gonna be out there interviewing people. I'm be like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Sorry, Mr. Tyler. I need Mr. Crowder over here because he's the man with the plan.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to. Well, actually, I am about to turn Atlanta into Hollywood. So, I mean, I'm currently working with Benny Boone right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about to crank up this film festival here in Atlanta, and I actually have my own TV network too. That is dropping.
Please tell them where they can find it. Please tell them where they can find it.
It's not out yet. We ain't launched it yet, but it's coming.
Okay.
I mean, in 30 days, 30 to 45 days, I'll be dropping my new my new television network. It's called Low Visions Network, of course. So you can only get it on the OS system, so Apple TV, iPhone, stuff like that.
Okay, well at least look, that's why I got both. Why I got both.
No, for now though, we just wanted to start there because we have a deal with them. So,
absolutely, no, I understand.
But over time it's going, go into the Android phase. But yeah, that's about to kick off. Me and Benny Boone. Shout out to Benny Boone, man, because he been holding me down.
Shout out.
Yeah, he been holding me down for about a year now. They were out here looking for the best filmmaker in Atlanta, and I just so happened to run into him. So, but I'm not the best filmmaker in Atlanta. So I'm just probably the one that got the most sense.
You can't say it, but I can say it because that's how I'm feeling right now.
Right. I got it's all good, baby. It's all good. But to piggyback on the relationship thing, what you were talking about, what I tend to see a lot of is not only the fan thing or the groupie thing. I think they lose consciousness when they meet that certain person. They be like, "Oh, that's Will Smith. Oh my God, it's Will Smith." So they panic. They don't. They might have a good idea to pitch to them, but they panic and they just start, babbling and doing too much and being too extra, and that, of course, that'll scare the celebrity. And like, all right, thanks. And they move on about their way. But one thing that I tend to see a lot is when they do organically meet that person, they always go straight into, I need some money for this, or that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I got this idea. It's like you can't, especially first meeting them. I mean, I understand the fact that it might be your last time meeting them. You don't know. But you just can't come at them like that, because then that makes you the weirdo and not them. You know what I mean? So, and nobody's going to give you $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 first time they meet you. And that's how they be coming into the relationship. Like, look, I need this, and we're going into production tomorrow. Okay, so that's what a lot of people make mistakes. They're trying to do too much too soon. That's
absolutely.
Me personally, when I meet him, hey man, you know, we talk about other things, you know, that's going on in life and you know, the communities.
Things.
Yeah, human things, real things. You know what I mean? And I might got a fight script right into my trunk while we talking. You know what I mean? But I'm not putting it out because I know that conversation ain't gonna go there.
That's
I'll
it.
wait. I'll talk to you for a while, get your number, email, or your managers or whatever, and then I'll do that later. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people just be talking themselves out of their blessings. That's all it is.
Wait a minute. Can we plug that? Say that one more time. People be doing what?
You'll talk yourself out of your blessings. You
Oh,
just talk
okay. That's it. Wow. Yeah. So, all right. Now, we done talked about business. But there's time to really get to business.
Right.
What is your take on the state of affairs in Georgia?
As far as you talk about the Ahmaud Arbery situation?
Absolutely.
Well, it's kind of a funny situation. It's a real sticky situation. You see a lot of everybody that's watching the video, not the one of him getting shot, the new one that they supposedly dropped, with him walking in the house or whatever, you know. And but we seen, you know, I'm a Black Panther, so we seen that video 2 months ago. So it was like, but what we didn't see was that actual video of him getting shot. They never brought that out. This was new to us. That's why we ended up going back down. But we went down there, and when it happened, we went down there. Shout out to Hashim Nzinga, man. He's the leader of the new Black Panther Party. And I'm just the minister of technology. So I make sure, you know, that the visuals was right or whatever. But we went down there and you know, a lot of things were said and done, and they promised us that they would arrest them cats. Well, it was one cat at the time. It was just the son. We didn't know about the dad. He was
there. Okay.
So yeah, they went down. They said, "Yeah, we're gonna take care. We got you," you know. And then you know that DA, you know, we already know what she's doing. And then nothing ever happened. And we started putting the press on them again. And then next thing I know, because his mother ended up getting an attorney, you know, to start a lawsuit and whatnot. Then all of a sudden, Al Sharpton bitch ass show up. So when he show up, you know what I mean? Which is always, this happens all the time. The only reason I'm speaking on it because it keeps happening and we tired. You know what I mean? Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, we were there, but nobody knows it because Al Sharpton's always show up with the slick hair and the suit, and the cameras go straight to him. You know what I mean?
Let me take a step.
Yeah, and then he'll always, and I hope this shit go viral. He'll always go in the back when the soldiers are out front doing what they do. He'll go in the back of the office and be like, "Yeah, you see them niggas out there? Yeah, it's gonna be an issue, but I can take care of it if you're gonna." You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens every time. That's what happens every time. So in this situation, he actually brought in that other attorney. I think his name is Cage or something. He brought that attorney in from the NAACP. That's another whole situation. And now he is the lawyer of the father. And the father don't even mess with the mother. So that, you know, you already know how that goes. So
absolutely.
I'm kind of like, me personally, I'm kind of done with the situation, to be honest with you, because it just happens every time. Like I said, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown. I mean, you can name them. We be there. We be there. Nobody just ever knows. But you see the black suits marching. You see that's us.
Absolutely.
In the front, that's us. But when Al Sharpton shows up and whoever else he brings with him, then it's a whole different story. So, but as far as rest in peace to the brother Ahmaud Arbery too. But as far as that situation, I think it's still gonna work out where it needs to be. But I think Al's still gonna get his cut too. because the way he works is, because we know the lawyer gets 30%, of the suit. And we're talking millions now, and he'll get 30%, and then Al get the 10. You know what I mean? Hi, Al.
So Jabari, it's so funny that you say that, and I'm just sitting here reflecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said earlier, I was born to older parents. So my mother had a very, very different philosophy than my dad. My dad was yes to no, sir, and my mama was not in my camp. So, them together was a beautiful union, an interesting union, but a beautiful union.
Mm-hmm.
But out of that yielded 2 children. And what I noticed is that my fight for justice is very, very much being who I am. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like doing this is the best way for me to fight because I have freedom of the press, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can invoke freedom of assembly, but I know that in my invoking freedom of assembly, I'm drawing a different kind of attention. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you and the brothers have a unique situation because from what I'm seeing and hearing now, you are recognized, but not recognized.
Well, and that's probably by choice. Like they don't call me lay low for nothing. You know what I mean? So I try to stay out the way and out the light. But sometimes things may happen where I just got to step up and like, hey, hold on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm me personally. I'm fighting for my people because I see my people dying.
That's it.
Not so much as killing themselves, like because I ain't no dumb. I do my research. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Oh yes, you do. Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we kill ourselves, but so do them white folk. They kill themselves. You ever been to Mexico? You ever been to Asia? You know what I mean? Like it goes down. So I don't really, feed into that, oh, we be killing ourselves too conversation because it happens everywhere. And we are a savage entity. We are you know what I'm saying? We're all savage. We've just been tamed, So and that's the same thing that happens with any lion. We all know it's a lion. A lion is a lion.
That's
but
it.
You can raise a lion in the jungle or you can raise them in the zoo.
That's it. That's it. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's just that we're being raised in the zoo. That's all. But we were born in the jungle. We all know that. And I heard you talking earlier where you was like, people be getting upset and angry and all the time or whatever. Some used to do aggression on their voice and something like that. But that's who Black people are. Because it was funny while you were saying that you was actually doing it.
That passion. Yep.
Actually, passion is not aggression.
But that's what I need people to understand. And that's why I said that, because I always have to tell people, and it's so crazy. I even said this in an interview that I went on for the position I'm in now. I was like, look, I talk with my hands. Mm-hmm. I'm very passionate about what I feel and believe. I'm passionate about this. So I'm not angry, but I'm passionate, and I need you to understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. I'm gonna give you an example. Like yesterday I was on set, and a friend of mine that I'm teaching the game. We had the car mounted. We had a camera on the car, and he wasn't there though. So the artist was there. We was waiting on him to show up because I'm not doing no work. I wasn't hired. I'm not doing nothing.
I know that's right.
So we got to talking about the shot and how he wanted to happen and the sound and all that. And he was like, man, we need to have his camera a certain way so it can pick up the sound because it's outside of the car. And I was like, no, you need a mic inside of the car. That's what you need. You know what I mean? I was like, he should have a mic. This is my man I'm talking about though. You know, I'm like, he should have a mic in the car. And my man say, he's like, man, yeah, I mean, but dude, a beast, man. I'm like, no, he's not a fucking beast if he ain't got the fucking mic in the car. So it's not me being angry or aggressive. I'm just passionate about this, what we talking about.
Okay.
Tell me he a beast, because if he was a beast, he would have had the mic in the car. You know
I got you. I got you.
It's just that's just, you know, that's just me.
No, I get it. Like, you know, it's just, I guess I'm laughing because my mom, you know, my mother and my grandmother, they used to be, Lil, why are you so loud?
Right.
And I was like, I don't know.
Right.
But you know, Jabari, I understand why I was so loud as a kid, because I was destined for this. And you know, I tell people all the time, all of those papers on their wall, and this is where I'm most happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy here.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the institutions that I've attended only really taught me how to exist in a capitalist society. For real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It taught me code switching, but I learned code switching at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because my parents understood. Mm-hmm. They was like, you know, my mom and dad always said, you know, we know our son gonna be okay, but Lord, that daughter of ours, we don't know what's gonna happen, because that child is, I'm a rebel and I'm going against the grain. Right. And I appreciate you, you know, I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate your instruction, because what you don't know is you instruct me every day. I can't wait to wake up and be like, all right, what he got to say today? Because he about to bring some fire.
No, I purposely do that for everybody. Like, I don't even like social media, but it's so many people that's lost out there, and you can't give it to them uncut.
Nope.
You gotta put some cut on it.
That's true.
You gotta put some comedy with it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know my people. Like, I studied psychology while I was in prison, so I know my people. I know what I'm dealing with. So when you see me posting something, yeah, it might be off the wall or weird, but I know what I'm doing. I just plan.
And it draw people in. It draw people in, because you know what? And you know, I'm going there. I ain't saying nothing on the post, but I'm going there.
You're right.
When you asked about Black-owned clothing lines,
yeah,
and that joint went viral.
It did. I haven't been back on since. I've been working.
I know. I remember you saying, I ain't got time. Y'all get them, because I ain't got time to go for it. Baby, I went through, and this one guy was like, well, no, why does it have to be a black and white thing? Because I'm white and I was beat and I was bullied.
Talking about what's his name? Sebastian.
And I get it. And you know, in my mind,
I didn't get it. I was like, nigga, put your ass on my page with that shit.
But I also
man, you tripping.
But I also understood where you were coming from. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, right now, just with you, in your own way, you're creating a Black Wall Street. You might not see it like that, but I see it like that, because I see a gentleman whom I reached out to for something else, and now I'm learning from this person, and I'm learning things that I need to do to be able to create something, so that I can teach other people to come in and create, and they can teach other people. But Jabari, that's what we did back in the day. So my question to you now is, what happened?
Nothing. What happened is niggas ain't paying attention.
Ooh.
We already there. What building can't you go in and it's only whites?
Absolutely. I get it.
I can go on and on like that, but I'm just what neighborhoods you think some crackers gonna come in and blow that shit up like they did Black Wall Street? Speaking of Black Wall Street, if you really think about it, there's black businesses all over the fucking country. We got Black Wall Streets in every state now. Your neighborhood is Black Wall Street. You just keep letting these Indians get the gas stations.
Well, you're right.
That's the only problem. You own the little mom and pop restaurants. You own the barbecue stands, the pawn shops. You own everything else, but you let them get the good money. The gas stations, the corner stores, the grocery stores. You letting all them come in and do it. You weren't about the small stuff. We need to just transition, like grabbing some of this big stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But we already. I mean, Obama was president. I don't care what nobody say about Obama. He was president. That is with a Black woman and 2 Black kids. Now, if he had a white woman, I would have got it. But that's a Black family that went in there. You tripping. We've been there. Everybody just stuck in this slave mentality as if they holding us back. They hold who?
Now Jabari, that's it.
Who the hell holding you back?
You just sealed the deal. Mental slavery is real. Mental slavery is real. Shout out to Arthur Tracy Hardy Scott. And you know what? That's somebody I'm going to connect the two of you, because she's a female U up here in RBA, and she really, like what you just said is it. We've had countless podcasts, TV shows on mental slavery, but guess what? You know who's listening? Us. We don't need to talk to us. We need to get other people.
What needs to happen is, like, this is what needs to happen. We need to direct our next generation. And what I mean by that is, first of all, you notice how every few months we complain about what the white man owe us and reparations and this and that. We basically always begging these white men for something, and we begging them for shit that we can actually go get now. You can buy 40 acres and a mule. Hell, Oprah can get 100 of them. You put Puffy with them, and so on and so forth. Yeah, damn, they make a state.
Absolutely, you're right.
Do you know how? You can make it. You can actually buy enough land to separate yourself and make a state.
Create your own state.
That's what they did. The laws are still the same. The process is still the same. It's just we too busy worrying about making them come give it to me. Come give it to me, nigga. You can go get it now. And that's how they looking at us. Like, what are y'all talking about? We can't give y'all trillions of dollars. I mean, shit, we already in debt. We got to borrow the money to give it to you. So, like, y'all free. Go get your own goddamn money. So, but that's how we ended up. That's how we end up getting done, like Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown. Oh, damn sure don't want to forget no names. Ahmaud Arbery, so on and so forth.
Sandra Bland.
Sandra Bland. Was there too. We tend to, and when those things happen, we tend to be like, well, we need justice, we need this, we need that. No, what we need to do is we need to raise our children to get into position what we complaining about.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Everybody's talking about, man, they're protecting their own and she didn't want to give. That's not just you. You're right. But at the end of the day, she doing what the hell we supposed to be doing to ourselves.
Hello, somebody.
You want Bill Cosby out? Go get him. Stop asking them to bring him out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not promoting violence and nothing like that, but we all know what happened with the Asada Shakur. That's when we took care of our own. You feel me? So now, but why is I get it back then because they had all the power. We couldn't go into certain buildings. Yeah, we couldn't even damn near drive certain cars. But when we found knowledge of self back then, that's when the Panthers came about and all that. But those laws and rules that they had in place to get rid of us was still there. So that's why they was able to hang us and shoot us down like dogs and whatever. But now after the Civil War, which we fought. The front line, they wouldn't have won it without us. If you do your homework.
Absolutely.
So ain't nobody gave us nothing. We took it. But at some point, we started allowing people like Al Sharpton coming in to convince us that we need to keep begging them for shit.
Entitlement. That spirit of entitlement. We owed everything.
Look at the back of your wall. You think you could have got that in 1939, 1940? Especially with the mouth you got?
Nope. I already said, I already told my mother that if I know if she had, if they had kids when they probably would have had kids, I would have been born in the 60s. And I think that's why my mind is like it is.
So,
and I would have been dead because I would have been like, I'm going to stand on these courthouse steps and I'm not moving.
Yeah.
With my blue hair.
I'm different back then. I was violent. So, yeah. So I was like, I've been walking around just slapping crap. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? But you don't have to do that today.
That's true. And what you said is what I was talking about, though, Jabari. What you just said.
They crossed the
think that's
now. They scared. They going extinct. How many white people you see in the abortion clinic compared to how many black people?
That's true, though. Wow.
White women love abortion clinics. Why do you think they was trying to pass the law? Because they losing their generation. They almost extinct. Not to mention the Mexicans coming over here full throttle. And they with us. So this is why all this stuff is happening. They killing us. They trying to kill us all, but they can't. We're roaches. We're gonna always be here. You're gonna try AIDS. You're gonna try Ebola. You're gonna try mass killings. You're gonna try all type of stuff. We ain't going nowhere. And once we realize that we actually built this country because they couldn't stay in the sun too long, we had to do the work. Once you realize that, that means this is our country. This is ours. And they can't even do nothing about it, especially after Obama became president.
But you know what, Jabari? Wow. Y'all, look, I told y'all this was a special edition. We went from, it's so funny though, we went from talking currency to back talking about currency and the economy.
Right.
The affairs. For real, that's how it works.
I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and go forward. But I'm a 4-time convicted felon, right?
Wow.
I've been home a little over 4 years for bank robbery, right? Over 4 years. In 4 years, I've gotten my company off the ground, Low Visions Media. I ain't worked for nobody today when I got out. Nobody.
Wow.
I started my own company as soon as I got out. And I did 2 movies in 2 years, countless music videos. Hell, I'm a plug for Hollywood now. Like they calling me from Hollywood, like what's going on in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
They're not calling Tyler Perry. They're calling me. They can't even get in touch with him. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, I did all that. Came home, got my life together. I'm on the straight and narrow now. And now the banks are giving me loans. I went from robbing banks to them motherfuckers giving it to me. But if I had a knew it then, I would have got it then.
Exactly.
Nobody teach me nothing. I actually had to go to prison to learn this stuff. You know how they say, "Oh, I got time." I had time.
Absolutely. No, that's real.
I got. Don't know if you can see over there, but it's a bookshelf right over here.
Right
there.
Okay, and you see me moving like I can literally move.
But look, ain't nothing but filmmaking books over there, and they all from prison.
So you're taught.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Guys, y'all are listening to, I'm telling you. This
was my #1 book in the penitentiary.
Wow. So you already knew this is what you wanted to do when you came home?
No, I was already doing it before I came. I was in a halfway house setting shit up. Like, and I think that's what you're actually seeing is that the actual drive of me just not let nothing hold me down. I'm not listening to y'all, man. The white folks ain't gonna let you. The white folks can't stop me from doing nothing. I can't see where they can stop me. How? I mean, I'm reading the same laws that they made, and I'm realizing, hell, they got a bunch of bank robbers that's getting loans from banks now. So I just started seeing the world totally different, especially in prison. Some people go to prison, they get worse. Some people come out, a whole bunch of prison. And that's what happened with me. I was taken under the wing by the OGs in there because they, like you, I guess what you seeing me, they saw too. Yeah. And it was like they wouldn't let me get in trouble, nothing. It was like, nah, bro, you gotta go home. And I was I was an idiot. I was ready like to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? They was like, nah, bro, you too talented. Go home. We need you at the house. You know what I mean? I didn't understand it then, but I definitely understand it now. Because before I went, I always had that leadership role. I just didn't know it until I actually went. So that's
wow. Oh my God! Look, you know what, Jabari? This is the beginning. This is not the end. And
that's what I was telling you.
And I'm gonna leave it there because guys,
it's just the beginning.
You just heard a wealth of information from Jabari Crowder, filmmaker, screenwriter, manager, all of that extraordinaire. Bring Josh back in for a second so we can close out. Josh, thank you. Thank you.
Man. That was powerful. I respect everything that y'all was sharing, man.
Thank you, bro. I respect what you're sharing too. Hey, listen, I got you right here. Where is it? Yeah, I got you right here. I'm coming to see you.
Can I just real quick, because y'all shared so much, and I'm like, yo, when you guys shared about this mental slavery, I really feel like, and I was itching, like, man, you gotta let me, because like it really comes down to that, because we don't understand who we are.
Right.
You don't, and that's what I was trying to get across earlier. Like when you understand who you are, you carry yourself different. No one is stopping you except for you.
I think personally, every Black person in America should take a trip to Egypt. One that would change your whole aspect on this world.
Ooh. See, me, I'm actually Haitian. So being Haitian, my background, my family's from Haiti. If you guys don't know the history of Haiti, that's definitely something that.
What year was that? Was it 1904? What year was that?
When they revolted?
Yeah.
Before that?
Yeah, it was 18
something, but it was in the 1800s. They revolted. The first African nation where the slaves revolted, and they defeated some world powers.
Yeah, they overpowered the slave masters.
English, and Spain. And the only thing that stopped them, and kind of, there's obviously higher powers, but it really comes down to mentality.
Right.
When I go over there, every time I step foot in Haiti, I see so much richness, I see so much power, I see so much strength, and the only thing stopping them is the mentality.
Same thing here.
Wow.
Same thing here. Everybody's running around like these white folks holding us back. How? How? This man just said he's making millions at home, chilling. We couldn't do that in 1945. I mean,
hell, you couldn't do it in 1965.
Yeah, I just didn't want, I want to go back a little bit, but we're here. We're here. Wake up. We're here.
But let me tell you something. To be surrounded, and the thing is virtually surrounded, but I know that soon we will be together very soon. But to be virtually surrounded by two African American men who understand who they are, where they come from, and where they're going. Do y'all understand that this is brilliant? We are brilliant.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I am humbled. And because I feel like I'm amongst leaders, I'm able to step back and let you guys speak. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
And that means something. So I salute the both of you. And like I said, this is the beginning. You will be back because I think we need to continue this dialogue. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It'd be a pleasure. It'd be a pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Everybody, 90 minutes of power. And you know, normally I take my guests out, but they staying with me till I close y'all out. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for being on the YouTube stream. Listen, this is all things authentic, but guess what? Tonight, we slapped in some consulting time, so I'm gonna really rock on every block. And what I'm trying to say is this: tonight, I didn't drop the jewels. I brought you joy. Mr. Josh brought you jewels. And hashtag the Lilo Show brought you justice. Joy, jewels, and justice. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, salute.
Take care, everyone.
All right.